And when you can look death in the eyes and say, I'm not afraid anymore, I accept you, that is when you will truly live. What is up, healthcare squad? Logie here with Healthcare Stress Relief. And in this video, I'm going to be talking about a very touchy subject, death. And for me, this has been a subject that I avoided for a long time when I was younger, especially as an ICU nurse. People would die and I would accept it in the moment, but it would start to eat at me. And there was one night where I had a patient die on my watch, and it really just tore at me. And there's a lot of underlying reasons for that, but we as healthcare professionals, we're gonna see death more than most people will ever see in their lives. Just in a couple of years, I saw over 10 people die, and for most people that is a lot. And if you're working in the emergency department, you're going to be seeing in your career hundreds upon hundreds of people dying. So becoming very intimate and having a relationship with death is extremely important. If you're into stoicism at all, the Stoics, they used to keep skulls on their desks to remind them every day of their own mortality. And once you start embracing death more, you will start living your life with more purpose. Death is an absolutely amazing teacher. I believe it's talked about in the 4 Agreements. Great book, you gotta check that one out. Death is actually your friend. There is no life without death, but death is an angel in disguise. It is something that when you look at it, it reminds you that the life that I'm living now has to have purpose. I'm gonna die one day. I have to do something. I have to do something important. It's what nature wants us to do. It wants us to live lives of change and growth. And death is the one thing you can see people on their deathbeds. They go and they find out they have cancer, and they go and they start living the life they actually liked. And then the cancer goes away. It's because they've accepted death and they finally started living. I just want to challenge you to build a stronger relationship with dying and death, because if you don't accept it now, when patients start dying and your loved ones start dying down the road, hopefully it's when they're very old, it's going to be very hard to accept it. And a lot of times it's because we are afraid of our own mortality. But when you look death in the face, and I've done like 16 ayahuasca ceremonies in the span of 6 months, I have grown a very intimate relationship with death. Plant medicine will teach you a lot of things, but death is definitely one of those things. And when you can look death in the eyes and say, I'm not afraid anymore, I accept you, that is when you will truly live. So I'm going to challenge you, if you have a meditation practice or anything like that, during this practice, just sit for 10 minutes and think about, if I were to die tomorrow, what would be the things that I would do today? If I had all the money in the world and everything, would I quit my job? Would I go tell the person I've been thinking about for a long time that I love them? What would you do? And ask yourself this question a lot. Think about your mortality when you die, and you'll start to build a stronger relationship with the present moment. You'll start appreciating the present moment more, and you'll look at your patients and the family members when they're grieving if a patient died, and you'll be able to have more intimate conversations with them about death. I've seen this so much in my career, myself included. Someone would die and I would have no idea how to even help the patient's family members in the grieving process, because I was just so shocked, and they're shocked. And once you accept your own mortality more, you can talk about death openly with these people, because nobody on this planet gets out alive. And you are at the driver's seat in your career, where you could facilitate a very helpful grieving process for family members if you can open up the conversation and be comfortable with it. About your family member might be dying soon, how do you feel about it? Or your family member just died, how can I help you? I know it's really hard when someone passes away and somebody's grieving. You have no idea what to even say. But if you are able to empathize a little bit more with what death really is, then you can help your patients more. So that's all I got for you today. Accept death, love it, accept it as your friend, and you will live an awesome life. I'll talk to you later. Ciao.